Okay. All right.
This,
Connection, yeah.
connection kinda. This last one was for money,
Okay.
and
How'd it go?
good.
Awesome.
You know, I think still processing it. You know, because it was Tuesday.
What are you noticing for yourself?
Calmness, more just relaxing, and even after our session last week, it was just more like, okay, it's just trust the process. You know, I think that's where I gotta try and get to more. Is just to trust the process and that it's gonna work.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then
But you recognized, what I'm hearing you say is you recognized inside your body that there was a calmness.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, just,
Great.
yeah, that it was gonna be all right.
Yeah.
For some reason,
Okay.
it just felt like it was gonna be all right.
Okay. Excellent. All right. And how about you?
So the session was helpful because I was able to get up all those feelings out about money, and obviously the fix that, you know, I guess, yeah, and the intensity of it. But since we brought that up, I did when we worked with CJ, so it was difficult because I couldn't even say some of the statements, like I'm okay shopping and not spending any money, like I couldn't even say that.
Yeah, good awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but just working on those statements about even it's okay if I do or I don't, you know, he always works both ways with the process. And so.
But recognizing where you couldn't.
Yeah, I couldn't even like how really powerful that was for me.
Yeah.
So so I just recognized though that, you know, that was a big movement for me, because even yesterday at work it was just very difficult to concentrate, and then being irritable to sad to all these emotions. So yesterday was just difficult at work.
But you're recognizing that was you processing through all that.
Yeah, yeah. So hopefully I didn't piss anybody off yesterday, you know, in the process. But you know, oh well. Tried to keep my composure, but it's hard, and I was very busy.
Yeah.
So it was here, there, you know, and so it was just very. Yeah, I was glad when we could leave.
But did you find yourself, like in the past, you would have gotten stuck in like a rage response and nothing would have soothed you, you wouldn't have been able to, so was it different this time?
Yes, because also, because at home it's when you want to let the rage out because it's, you know, safe environment, but I, you know, it's the self-talking going, okay Marie, you know, it's okay, you don't have to, because I could see where I could make all these things frustrating, you know, even simple things.
Right.
And so it's no, let's just sit down and be calm about eating, just relax, and so.
So like the adult was kind of talking to the child part.
Yeah.
That was working through stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I can see where my talking to myself and self-regulating myself that way, and just recognizing what's going on. And just, so that, I seem to be getting better at that.
And how is she doing inside?
I think it was a lot of her. There's a lot of
course.
When I was writing this morning, there was a lot of, what's coming to me now is rebellion. She didn't use that word this morning.
Right.
It's like,
right.
Not liking it, but moving through the change. Maybe not as smoothly as I have, you know, but
that's okay.
It's okay. I just told her that it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You know, so whatever comes up.
Yeah,
it's okay.
and she may disagree with that statement.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
You know?
But you know, for her, I think it's just being scared.
Of course. Of course.
Just being scared and not really. Who do I trust?
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Given everything that we've talked about. Right.
Yeah.
But somehow, even with all of that, she is not sabotaging the process. So I just wonder if deep down somewhere like there's some kind of calmness or something that she's connecting to, because it doesn't sound like she's sabotaging the process. She's letting her feelings be known, but it sounds like you're processing through them.
Right, yeah.
So,
you know, she's allowing it on some level.
on some level,
But,
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So here's my thinking, sitting with both of you, and I know you went last time, but it sounds like there's still a lot of, you know, what I'd like to do is work with both of your emotions kind of around it, that whatever you're aware of. How are you feeling in this moment right now, just even talking about it? About finances and what you guys are trying to accomplish?
Well, what I noticed is as soon as she started talking about the little girl, and then she said, the little girl about trust, that kind of flared up in me a little bit.
Okay.
Because what goes on inside of me is, what more do I have to do here to show her?
Right.
You can trust me.
Right.
I mean, it's almost 3 years that I've been working to try and fix this. And it still comes back to this girl not trusting me. And I don't know what much more. I'm just, I feel beat right now. I felt like I got punched in the gut because of that statement.
And I hear what you're saying, and let me ask you, is it okay if we process through this, Marie? Okay.
Sure.
So while you're feeling that inside, let's try and use some gaze spotting, okay? Look to the left. Keep your head towards Marie. Now look to the left. Check in with your body. What happens when you're looking to the left?
Nothing.
All right, now look straight on to Marie. Notice what happens inside. And then just look over to your right. And you can look at me or you can look at the wall. Yeah? What do you notice inside?
Well, now I'm noticing that I'm calm.
Okay.
Because whatever I did, I needed to do.
Right. Okay.
But I think there's
Looking right on.
more energy this way.
Okay. So does it feel like you want to work with more energy, or do you need more calming energy? Do you need a calm spot, or do you need a spot that has more energy?
I think maybe I just need to have a calm spot.
Okay. So which one is calmer? Looking over to your left.
To my left.
To your left is more calm?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna invite you to do that. Okay. Hang out there for a second. I'm gonna check in with Marie. How are you doing with him just getting triggered like that? You doing okay?
Yeah.
All right. And so same thing. Do you have a calming gaze spot that you can put your eyes on? And if you need my help to find it, I'm right here.
I like the flowers though.
Okay, great. And does that feel pretty calm? Okay, great. So if you're okay holding that spot while we do some dialogue on this, and then I'm going to ask you to mirror.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So pay attention.
Yeah. So I know it's multitasking at the extreme here. Yeah.
Okay. That's
All
fine.
right.
Okay.
Awesome. All right. So you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So do you want to sentence them?
Sure.
Okay. So when I heard her say, when I heard Marie say, when I heard you say, however you want to say that, about trust, what happened inside of me?
So when I heard Marie talking about, or the little girl talking about trust, what went on inside of me is anger, frustration, sadness.
Okay, let her mirror that.
Okay, so if I heard you correctly, when you heard the younger part of me talk about trust, what went on inside of you was anger, frustration, and sadness. Did I hear you correctly?
Yes.
Is there more?
Yes. I felt lost because I didn't know. I'm like, I can't do anymore. Because I've tried everything, and it's getting to where I feel like I can't try anymore because I don't know what else to try.
Okay, let her mirror that.
So if I heard you correctly, you feel that you're at a loss because you don't know what to try anymore, because you feel that you've tried everything and you're just at a loss of where to go from here. Did I hear you correctly?
Yes.
Is there more?
I think yes. And I think the anger and the frustration part is that I'm not getting any like, I don't know how to phrase it, but I'm not getting any like feedback from it, like that I need. I just don't, you know what I mean? I mean,
Like you're doing this right, or this
Right.
doesn't work. Okay, let her get that.
So if I heard you correctly, the anger and frustration is about not getting any feedback from me, whether you're doing it right, or I like this, or I don't like this. Did I hear you correctly?
Yes.
Is there more?
Okay, if I ask a question?
Sure.
Okay. Is this lost feeling where you keep trying to do something and you're not getting feedback, is it familiar?
Familiar in, like, it happened before.
Mm-hmm. Like seeking someone's approval, trying to get them to, to connect and not getting the feedback, feeling lost.
I would say not feeling lost, but not getting the, the
Mhm.
feedback. Probably had to deal with my dad.
Okay, so just notice that for a moment, see where that takes you.
Yeah, I guess just the only thing that comes up with that is that, my dad just always thought that because my brother went to college and was a school psychologist and graduated from college and he only wanted to go to college,
Mm-hmm.
that he was obviously the brains behind,
Mm-hmm.
So dad and mom gave him all this responsibility with their finances and everything and their health and all that kind of stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like whatever the rest of us did, whether it was my sisters or me, it was just okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all it was to him, was
Mhm.
okay. The
Mhm.
only thing that I felt like I did right for him was I got a job at the railroad
Mm-hmm.
because I was making
Mm-hmm.
that amount of money,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all that mattered to him.
Mm-hmm. I want you to continue to hang out on your spot and just notice And I'm gonna have Marie mirror that, okay? To the best of your ability.
Okay, so if I heard you correctly, what you remember feels familiar about that is your relationship with your father, and that because Lamont went to college and got a degree and was a school psychologist, that he gave him a lot of responsibility because he felt he was the more responsible, smarter one. For the rest of you, with your sisters and you, everything all of you did was just okay. And the only thing you felt that he thought you did right was get the job at the railroad because of the amount of money that you make. Did I hear you correctly?
Yes.
Is there more?
I want you to stay on your spot. I'm gonna have her summarize what we've heard so far and validate what we've heard so far. Okay, and just, if you can listen, but also notice what's coming up inside of you, okay? So just to summarize, because this, I think, is gonna go on a little bit more, just up until this point, what you've heard him say.
Okay. So summarizing what I heard you say was that when I talked about trust, that was a trigger for you that brought up anger and frustration, and you just feel like you keep trying and trying, but you don't receive any feedback, whether it's good or bad. But you also remember what's familiar about that is your relationship with your father and what he thought of you compared to your brother Lamont.
Just ask, is that a good summary?
Is that a good summary?
Yes.
Okay. And what makes sense to you about what he's saying?
What makes sense to me is how he is feeling emotionally, the anger and the frustration. Because we all like to receive some sort of feedback, and what the relationship with your father, I understand that. It makes sense to me why you would want feedback. Is there more?
Just checking in, seeing what else is coming as we're in this process.
It just feels like I try to do the right thing and it never is the right. It's not the right thing, and then I gotta try and find the right thing. Because there's always something else to work on, something else to do, something else that falls apart. Just when you think you get something fixed.
Okay, let her mirror that for you.
So if I heard you correctly, you just feel like there's always something, like you feel things might be getting better and then something else falls apart and it needs to be fixed. And it just feels like an ongoing process. And you try to do the right thing, but it turns out to be the wrong thing. Did I hear you correctly?
Yes.
Is there more?
does it feel on that spot right now? How bothersome, or 0 to 10 when you look over there?
Probably like a 3
Okay.
or 4. I mean, it's just not.
Yeah. What are you noticing at a 3 to 4 over there?
What I noticed is when she was talking,
Mm-hmm.
her voice
Mm-hmm.
was triggersome.
Mm.
But that was it. I mean, like it was. What I noticed or what I felt inside
Mm-hmm.
is that there was no compassion in the voice.
That's what you're telling yourself.
That's what I'm telling
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
That's because to me it was how do you want to say it, monotone, like it was
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, so when you heard the monotone in her voice, you were saying inside there was no compassion.
right.
Okay.
I mean that's kind of what I felt. I
Yeah.
wasn't saying that to me. That's just what I felt.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
but that's kind of why I'm like, there was nothing else coming to me as far as my father
Mm-hmm.
went or anything like that. So,
Mm-hmm. But it's good for you to recognize. I'm going to ask you to stay on that spot, okay? Even maybe the thoughts came after you recognize the feeling, but if you're telling yourself that there's no compassion, and you're feeling that, that 3, inside, I wonder,